Okay, so we're on to comparing ratios, and we're looking at section 5.4, comparing and graphing ratios. And when we look at this, what we want to know is that with a ratio is comparing the two numbers. So we have the distance and we have the gallons, and which car offers better gas mileage is what they're actually asking us. So when we're doing a comparison, we could write it as a fraction. 360 over 20 is for A, and B is 270 over 18. Whenever I see zeros on the top and the bottom of a fraction, I know I can get rid of them. So I get rid of this zero right here, and I get rid of this zero right here. Now to divide 2 into 36, which is going to give me 18. So A's gas mileage is 18 miles per gallon. Now what they want to know is what is B. And so B would have to be higher in order for it to be, it would have to be higher than the 18 in order for it to be getting better gas mileage. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide 18 into 27 or 270. So we first start with the 27. So we're going to go 18 into 27. It goes one time, and that's 18. And then we're going to subtract that out, and our answer is going to be 15. So B gives us 15 miles per gallon, and A gives us 18. So what would you rather do? Would you rather be able to go and have to get gas more often or less often? Because B, you're going to have to get gas a whole lot more often than A. A is going to get you further, so A is the better gas mileage. Which is the better buy? So now you have two different fabric softeners or air fresheners, sorry, and one of them costs $6 for two, and the other one costs $12 for three. So I'm going to set the problem up for you, and then I want you to solve it for yourself. So when you're using a ratio table, we do it exactly the same way as we just did it a moment ago. We're going to load it up with the 6 over 2. That's going to be our first one, and 12 over 3 is going to be our second. It's an improper fraction, so all I have to do is divide this number into that number, and that'll going to tell me how much A is and how much B is. And everybody here can do that. So you'll know how much each unit costs, and that's what we're comparing. How much does it cost to buy one of those air fresheners? So now we're looking at our exercise 9, and then we're looking at exercise 9. Hold on. Sorry about that, having technical difficulties. So they want to again know what the better buy is. We have cost in dollars, and then we have cost or number of pounds for each. This is a question your mom and dad and you will one day face every time you go to the grocery store. So here you have, this is going to be 3 pounds at 5.70, and this is 5 pounds at 8.75. And the way you do this is you just divide them out. So I go 3 into 5 goes one time. Don't forget that decimal point. 3 goes into 5 one time, and there's my 3. And then I'm left with 27. 3 goes into 27 9 times, and then I'm left with 0. So $1.90 per pound for the first one. Then I'm going to take my 5 goes into 8 one time, and then I'm left with 37. 5 goes into 37. Oops, let's not forget our decimal. 5 goes into 37 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. And then what I'm left with is 25. 5 goes into 25 5 times. So this time I have $1.75 per pound. So which is the better buy? Right, so now we have a recipe, and the recipe is asking us, we have two different ways we can make the recipe. One, we can try to get the recipe to help our sore throat. And our mom has told us get the one that has the most salt. The salts will help you. So we have one recipe that calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt in a cup of water. And the other second recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of salt in 2 cups of water. Well, I can almost tell you right from just looking at it which one it is. But we're going to work out the problem. Now, we can do the same mathematical strategy that we've been using, or we can just look at it. If you look at this number right here, this is 2 cups. 1 equals 2. So every 1 teaspoon of salt I have 2 cups of water. If I look up here, it's 1 cup. What's the easiest way to do it? The easiest way is for me to double this. So I'm going to double this 1 cup to 2 cups. And I'm going to make this 2 cups. And if I do that, I need to get an equivalent fraction for here. So 3 1/4 plus 3/4 is going to give me 6/4, which would give me 4 goes into, let me see if I can give you some room here. Sorry about this. So if I have 6/4, 4 goes into 6 one time, and 2/4 would equal 1 1/2. So for this one, I'm going to have 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt for 2 cups of liquid. This one I only have 1 cup of salt for 2 cups. So this is obviously the better deal if I want more salt for my sore throat. So for problem 13, they're asking us to graph these two ratios. And what they're doing is they're giving you a really simple ratio table. So from here, I have 4, and then it goes to 60. Well, the first thing you have to do is figure out what the unit rate is. So we're going to pause for a moment. So I can figure out that 4 goes into 60 15 times. So that's going to be my unit rate. And they've been wonderful to us. And they took the 60, and here's 4 people. Now it's 8 people. I can just double this if I want to. Or I can take the 8 and multiply it by 15, and that's going to give me my answer. And that's what I'm going to have to do right here, because now I have got, let me pause here first. Here's my 15, and then next step is 15 times 8, and that's going to give me 120. My 15 is my dollars, my 8 is the number of people. Okay, and remember the 15 equals 1 ticket equals $15. 8 tickets is 120. So now you're going to have to multiply. You're going to have to multiply 12 times 15 in order to get the how much number 2 is. Look how nice they've been. Here's 8, here's 16. You just have to double whatever number 1 was, and that will give your answer for 16 people, because 8 times 2 is going to give you 16. Now we just have to compare it here. Again, the 5s are always nice. So double 5 would be 10. Well, 95 times 2, or 95 plus 95, is going to give you this answer. Now look here. Here is 5. Here's your 95. If you take 5 plus 10, you're going to get 15. So you're going to take your 95 and you're going to add it to the 10, and that's going to give whatever the number for number 4 was, and that's going to give you number 5. Now when I look at 20 people, I go back to the 10 and I double that, and that will give it to me. Or you can do the same thing we did over here and divide 5 into 95, find out the base rate, and then multiply the base rate times each of these. You guys have got this. It's a little math, but you got it. Now here you just have to graph it. You're going to graph how many for the first one. Is the museum or is it the zoo? The zoo first, and then you're going to do the museum. You're going to graph how many does it cost per person, or they want us to know for 4 people, and then for 6 people and 8 people, or 4, 8, 12, and 16, and then the second one is 5, 10, 15, and 20. So you're going to graph that over. If you look right here, here's 10, and this is what the cost would be. You guys can do this. Just take it a piece at a time and just do your best. Okay? Then they want you to compare it and see which one was the better deal. Okay? Okay, now this is a crazy question. Horse's heart beats 440 times in 10 minutes. Remember what I always tell you, get rid of your zeros. We've turned it into an improper fraction. We get rid of our zeros. And 44 divided by 1 is going to give us 44. So a horse's heartbeat goes 44 minutes, 44 beats per minute. Now the cow divide is 390 minutes, or excuse me, 390 beats, and it's in 6 minutes. So 6 goes into 39 6 times, and we're left with 30, and that goes 65. So now what they want to know is it they want to know which one has the greater heart rate. Greater usually means faster or more. So the cow would definitely have faster. 65 is way faster than 44. These are the answers for an exercise 16. Again, I don't want to teach to the test, so I'm just going to give you the answers. I'm not going to spend 15 minutes trying to explain to you how to get this. Here's your answers. So go ahead and plug them in. Take a minute, pause if you need to. And here's your answer for the next piece. And since we didn't work this problem, look at how long this problem is. Here is your next part. And here you go. We have a company, and this company has a nut mixture. And every 7 peanuts, the nut mixture has 4 almonds. Okay? And they want to know what it looked like for the old ratio. So here's my 7 peanuts. Now just pay attention to these numbers. So I'm not going in exact order. Pay attention. So you got 7 peanuts, 4 almonds. 7 plus 4 is going to give me 11. They doubled it. 7 times 2 is 14. 4 times 8, 11 times 22. Then we come from 7. We multiply it by 3. 7 times 3 is 21. What was our old almond? Almond was 4. 4 times 3 is going to give us 8. We add our 21 and our 8 together, and that'll give us our total. And here we go. Now we got to go all the way over here. And how did they get from 7 to 56? Well, they multiplied it by 8. So you have to take your original almond, which was 4, multiply it by 8. That's going to give you 32. And then you add the 56 and the 32 together, and that will give you your total. Now they're doing the exact same thing here with our new mixture. Our old mixture was one way, our new mixture, they're going to change the formula up a little bit. And now they're going to do 8 peanuts and 5 almonds. So here we go. The peanuts are a little cheaper, so they're going to add more. So you have 8 for for the peanuts, and then number 7, you're going to just plug in your number 5. That's how many almonds they're going to give us is 5. And we add our total. 8 and 3 is going to give us 11. Oh, excuse me, 8 and 5, sorry, it's going to give us 13. So then you come all the way over here to 56. How do they go from 8 to 56? Well, you multiply by 7. Then you have to take your number right here for your almonds and you multiply it by 7, and that's going to give you your number right here. You guys can do this. Just take it one piece at a time, write down your answers, and then just plug them in as you go. Number 19 is division. You can do it. 34 goes into 544. 34 is going to go into 54 one time. Then you subtract your 50. I'll go ahead and start it. 30 goes 54, and then we subtract that out. And there you just keep on going. You got it, people. All right, you're going to do division problem. There's your answer right here. How many times does 83 go into 1,520? And your remainder is going to go right here. What is the remainder? What's left over when you divide those in evenly? There's going to be a portion that's not even. It's not going to come out correct. So whatever's left over, that's your remainder, and that's what's going to go in for answer number 2. Nice, guys. You rock it.